So hello everybody, welcome to another video of FMChats. We're here with Emily today. So introduce yourself, Emily, and where are you now and where have you spent your lockdown?
So I'm Emily Salmon. I'm a recent fashion media graduate from Solent University. I've just moved home again now, sort of not really doing anything now, finished my FMP. Just been nominated for the Graduate Fashion Foundation Award for New Digital Media, so just sort of doing some bits for that, preparing for that, but nothing much really, a bit bored other than that.
Fair enough, but at least you've finished your 3 years now, so...
It's sad, don't know whether to be happy or like disappointed.
So if you could just give us a brief roundup of what your FMP was, what's your brand or what have you done for your FMP?
So my FMP is a magazine called Tribe Magazine, and it's the social media website and a couple of digital other channels with YouTube going alongside that. It's a magazine that's sort of dedicated to inspiring and empowering unapologetic women. It's basically about, how the movement started with fight to the vote and all these mouthy women sort of rioting, protesting, getting their voices heard, and then the movement now where it's just sort of girls doing what they want, wearing what they want, saying what they want, and sort of making their voices heard. So it's just sort of publication inspiring those women and getting these women to stand up and realise their power they have as young women.
Yeah, that's great. And
so
then
you've done the magazine and you've done the website. What else have you done, social media wise?
Yeah, I did an Instagram account, creating all the sort of content for the Instagram account. The website, and then I did a YouTube channel as well. It wasn't meant to be a YouTube channel, but because of lockdown, I had to sort of change things up. And that was what we're going to go to on next, about how did your concept evolve from start to finish and everything like that. Did you intend to do a magazine and a YouTube, or what did you start off as, and what have you got at the end? Originally, it was meant to be sort of the publication, that being the centre, having a print publication, then having just sort of things going alongside it. But then obviously because of lockdown, print publications aren't really sort of working at the moment, especially everything's moved to digital, showcasing our work digitally and all of that. So it's sort of moved to more of an immersive digital experience for my brand, which is basically, so I've done the magazine, that's one section. I've put that online in issue and everything. And then the website, had to focus more on features for the website, and I did a Zoom casts on Zoom, obviously interviews with these unapologetic women. I did a series called Females in Focus, which was all these unapologetic women, speaking to them about their lives, how they've sort of become successes on their own terms. And then I also did Women on the Front Line, which was a sort of interview series with women working on the front line of the pandemic. So that sort of worked well in the end. And then just did sort of trailers for what was meant to be a documentary that I was meant to obviously film and conduct interviews for, and everything that couldn't happen. So
how did you find contacting the women to interview? Did you do it through Instagram? Was it easy to do, or?
Yeah, I reached out to some of the other girls in my course and was like, do you know anyone? Please. It was a really last minute thing, to be honest, because I think all of us underestimated the workload we had to do. Because obviously before lockdown, we had such big plans, everything was going so well, and then lockdown happened and we were left with nothing. If you were really, really prepared and got loads and loads of work done, then you were sort of okay. But most of us were like, oh crap, we're way behind now, we've got left, we need to quickly pull something out of the bag. So I contacted the girls in my course and was like, do you know anyone that's sort of unapologetic, outspoken, confident, mouthy women that will have a good story to tell? And one of the girls got back to me because she works for Elsie and Fred, Erin, and said, the CEO, the founder of Elsie and Fred, she's really good, she's perfect. So I sent her an email, and then the next day we had a Zoom chat set up. It was quite,
that's great.
easy.
So they were all really up for doing it.
Yeah, 100%. I think because everyone's just at home bored, nothing to do.
Something to do, isn't it?
Yeah, and everyone's got to club together at a time like this as well and help one another. So it's quite nice. And then obviously you were shortlisted for the award for digital new media. So tell us a bit more about that. What's the process of doing that? How did you get nominated?
So I moved a lot of my work onto online for my FMP. I didn't consider it my strong point. It was never what I intended to do. So it was a bit of a shock to me to get nominated. It's not really, I wouldn't say that's one of my strengths, digital and online sort of media. I'm more into the magazines and all of that. But I was quite shocked when I got nominated. It was basically, we had to complete a PDF, best bits of our work, send it over to Rachel, and she basically submitted them to the university. And it goes through this you know, like the vice chancellors, and they had a big Zoom call and picked the best ones from the whole university for each category.
Oh wow, okay, that's really cool then. Yeah.
Graduate foundation. And then yes, they review it, go for it, shortlist the top 10, and then so now I've got a interview. I've got to go up to London on the 8th of July, and it's sort of like Dragon's Den, like the 3 industry judges.
Yeah.
Got your idea.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
And I know it's so scary. That's 5, and then there's an award show in September where they announce the winner.
Well, fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Yeah, because obviously it's like first year of fashion media as well, so to like get all those nominations, it's amazing anyway. So
50%. There's 4 of us who were nominated for an award out of 8 students, and I think we were the 4 out of 5 students nominated from Solent University as well. So
yeah, that's
so
amazing.
Good.
Yeah,
from fashion media.
Yeah, because it was like when I was scrolling down the page of all the nominations on like all the Solent names that I recognised, so it's like it's really cool.
Mad. I don't know how Rachel's managed that, but
she can pull
she's done it. I don't know.
That's really cool.
So obviously coronavirus is such a big thing. Has it adapted like your project a lot? I know you mentioned a little bit, so kind of what changed? I know you said about the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, so originally I wanted to do 3 documentaries. I'd started filming for one of them, so it was meant to be a sort of going against like embracing female body hair, getting women to just grow out all of their body hair and like see how they how their confidence changes, the views of other people, what other people think. So I was meant to do that. I was meant to do a Energising a Generation documentary, which was about getting young people involved in Parliament and getting their voices heard, getting young people sort of caring about the big issues. And then the third one was about sex workers, student sex workers. So I'd done a little bit of filming for each of them, like here and there, like had interviews arranged, and then slowly one by one, like they were dropping out. Like this was way before lockdown happened, before coronavirus was even a thing. I had some interviews with people in Parliament, and they started dropping out one by one, and I was like, oh, okay, that might be a good thing, a bad thing. And so I was sort of chasing them up, like, oh, like, you allowed visitors yet? You allowed visitors yet? And they were like, I don't think it's going to happen for a few months. And that's when I sort of started being like, okay, right, I'm going to have to sort of start thinking of something else to do. But then it was still right at the back of my mind. I was still just concentrating on the publication, getting the magazine done. And then it was, I think, like 3 weeks before hand-in, Rachel was like, okay, at the moment you're barely scraping a pass because of the workload you have. You need to like get the whole third leg from the 3 documentaries. You need that much content produced now from home, the same sort of video content.
Yeah, gosh, that's so much.
That was, so it did, I think it majorly did. I'm sort of glad that with our course we can get a lot of content digitally. You can do a lot online with other people's content, making it your own and that sort of thing. I suppose we were lucky in a sense, but it did sort of take a toll on at least a third of my FMP, if nothing else. So I suppose we're quite lucky in that sense. Still had the magazine done, still had the website, but then the video documentaries did sort of take a bit of a toll.
And what sort of support were you given throughout the lockdown experience? Were the teachers like, were you able to contact them? Obviously had online lessons maybe?
I think we had a lot of support, I think, compared, but Rachel, John, they were both really, really amazing. They were sort of doing weekly check-ins, even at the start, not at the start of lockdown, when we obviously all moved home, like in different environments. Some people didn't really get on with their families. Rachel was sort of checking in with us, like not only like, is your work done, but also sort of checking up on us, like how we were getting along, how everything changed. And then from there, she was sort of kicking our asses into gear, like getting things done, weekly Zoom calls. We had a weekly like sort of tech call with John as well. He was available. Well, they were all sort of available whenever you wanted them, just to give them a text, to give them an email. They were all sort of there. Like you'd text John like, oh, InDesign's not working, help me. And he'd be like, oh, here's a Zoom code, like Zoom me now, like call me up. They were on hand constantly. I don't know if that's just because we were a small class, but they were there constantly for like whatever we needed.
In terms of like throughout the course, like what were your like favourite topics, like including first and second year, and like how did you think they led up to your final major project? Like how did they help you with it?
I think everything sort of led to the final major project. I think fashion media is such a wide variety of content, sort of topics, and every single thing, because my FMP is obviously a website, social media content, social media strategy, marketing, the branding of my brand, the magazine. So I think everything from fashion business in second year, doing our first magazine. That magazine hugely inspired the rebrand of my current magazine and the feedback I got from that. Even first year, when we do like social media strategy and like trends and looking at trends, I think every single thing we've done has sort of led to my FMP and has had an impact.
So did you enjoy living in Southampton when you're at uni and like studying at Solent? Would you recommend it to people?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed Southampton, and it's very different. I live in London at home, so it's nice to be in a sort of smaller city, like everything's in walking distance. So I think it's really, really nice. And Solent as well, I think the course especially had very much of an impact on my university experience. I think it wouldn't have been as good of an experience if I was maybe doing like makeup or another mainstream course with more people. But
because it is such a small course. You've got that more contact hours.
Yeah, 100%. Such like a personal relationship with all the tutors as well.
I think that's what's so good. And then thinking about like, what's one piece of advice you give to someone like starting the course?
I think to be educated, not like just have your own head on your shoulders, to have your own opinions and to sort of stick to those opinions, like to follow your gut and have an instinct. Because I think especially in the industry, it's so obviously creative and everyone has different sort of opinions and different ways of showing things. I think it's really important to like stick to your guns and have a strong opinion and stick to that, like have faith in yourself and your work.
So what about someone who's just starting the FMP? So obviously we're going to go into third year in September, October. What would you say to people like us who are about to start that FMP?
I think definitely do something you're passionate about. It's a long 12 weeks, a very long 12 weeks, and if you're not passionate about it, if you don't love like sort of everything you're doing, it will get boring, very boring, and you'll dread starting things. And I think as well, start things early because you don't know what's going to happen. Like
of course.
Sort of things,
you never expect anything like this to happen.
If I'd done like a couple more photo shoots that week or like one more interview, I would have been so much better off being in lockdown. So I think get things done and sort of use your time wisely, because it will like come in handy and you will be grateful.
Did you find it like hard to adapt, like from being at uni doing all your work to bringing it home?
100%. Yeah, definitely. I think even if nothing else, it's both my parents working from home. My sister has also been at uni, so me and my sister have not lived at home for years, and then all moved home, living in the same house
all the time. It's not even like people go off to work, you're just everyone's at home.
It didn't really feel like I was still at uni. It felt like I was home for holidays, so I wasn't doing any work. Migration. So for like at least 3 weeks at the start of lockdown, I was just chilling, like watching Netflix.
Where did you find that motivation to finish your project?
Honestly, I don't even know. I think it was just the fact I had to get it done or fail, or like, and Rachel as well. Like, she does give you a good kick up the arse when you're not getting things done. I didn't want to let her down. I didn't want to let myself down because I knew what I was sort of capable of. I didn't want to just scrape the barrel and like do the bare minimum. I like sort of knew I could do better and how disappointed I would be if I'd handed something in that I wasn't 100% happy with.
Are you happy with how your final major projects come together? Like, do you love it?
Yeah, I am really, really happy. Really happy. And it's nice. It's so nice to be sort of nominated for the award and everything. It's sort of just showing me that it is good and it's not just me, and like all the hard work is finally sort of like paying off.
Like you're finally proud of like a final outcome. In terms of going into the industry, like where do you want to see yourself? What type of job do you want? Like, what's your dream job to have?
Honestly, I don't know. We've covered so many things and I've loved every single thing that we've done in our course. And I think I'd probably start off maybe, now I know that Tribe Magazines has legs and it's sort of good enough for industry. I'd love to carry that on and make it an actual thing, make it a real brand, sort of bring a brand to life. But to start with, I'd probably just I'd like to work at magazines, sort of fashion teams of magazines, sort of get some experience, gain some more knowledge, and then either find something I love while doing that or bring my magazine to life and sort of work on that.
Have you started applying for any jobs yet, or are you just going to have a bit of a time out for a bit?
I mean, I've had a time out. I've started applying, but there's nothing out there. There's literally nothing. I think I've applied for maybe 4 jobs, and normally fashion worky and other things like that are like full of jobs, full of things. But there's about 3 on there that I think suited me, so I applied for those. But yeah, I'm just hoping that I've got faith in the Graduate Fashion Awards now that hopefully something will happen. So
yeah, because that'll look amazing on your CV as well.
Even just being shortlisted. Now I've been shortlisted. I don't really. Obviously, I'd love to win, and that'd be amazing. But I'm happy. I'm proud of myself already. So
yeah, and obviously you're quite lucky in the terms of living in London. You can commute in if you were to get a job in London. Like, do you think you'll move out yet, or are you going to stay at home and work for a bit and then?
I mean, obviously, lockdown's making me want to move out. I'd quite happily move out tomorrow if I could. But I think it's going to be a while before that's possible.
Yeah. Are you planning on going back to Southampton, or is that it? Or
no, I think that's probably it. I feel like if I lived somewhere else maybe that wasn't in a city, then maybe, because I do quite like Southampton, but I think considering I live in London, it would be a bit stupid to move somewhere that's less sort of central and less big for the industry.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I definitely think that will help people looking at the course or people looking at FMP. So if you want to just tell us your socials so we know where to find you.
So my fashion account is Emily Salmon Fashion, and my normal Instagram account is Emily Isabella Salmon, and I have a portfolio at www.emilysalmonfashion.com.
And what are your tribe handles?
It's at tribe.magazine on Instagram.
And they'll be in the description box as well.
Yeah, we'll put them in. But I hope everyone enjoyed listening to Emily's FMP story, and we shall see you in the next one.